whole insane ballet.
監督はそのバレエのような複雑なあのシーンをその人形で。
そうです。特にライデンと月光が戦うところはもう人間ではできないんで、人形でスタントの人と何度も打ち合わせして、ここでこうしたくぐってこうしてああしてっていうのは何度もやりました。
Yeah, especially that scene, that battle scene of the geckos and Raiden. Their movements impossible to achieve for people, so we were doing it endlessly with the dolls, talking with people. All right, this goes there, and we're gonna try to do this. It took quite a bit of time.
ワンショットで撮るとですけど、スピード感がなくなったりするんですよね。そこが非常に難しいところで。
I like to do things in one shot. But unfortunately, the downside of doing this is that feeling of speed gets lost.
そこからここまでずっとこうカメラ寄ってドリル寄ってきたって持たないですよね。その間に情報が何もないので。
If you go from here to there and you're just dolling it that way, it's not interesting as a scene altogether.
そこは頭を使わないといけない。その観客の顔を一度映して天井を映すとか、あるいはブレードランナーでリドリー・スコットがやったレイチェルが出てくるところは途中でライトで影にして一回見えなくしてパッと出すとか、そこは非常にこう頭を使うところですけど、ここが非常に面白いところですね。
That's where you really have to use your brain. I don't know, panning at the audience in between or showing something interesting. That's something that Ridley Scott, for example, did masterfully in Rachel in that scene where she's getting close and the lights go off and then she's closer. You got to put this kind of ideas, and it's very difficult. But that's also what I find interesting and fun to think about.
もう一つそのカットシーンをワンカットにした理由っていうのがあるんですけど。
Now there's another reason that I did this for cutscenes.
ゲームって自分の時間軸で動いています。そこに間はカットされません。と違って階段を上がってステージに上がるところもカットされません。普通映画ではその袖脇にいるとこなんかカットなんですけど、ゲームはそこを自分で歩いていきます。
In the games, you move on your own timeline. The time is continuous, unlike movies. And in movies, there's parts where you're stepping up the stairs or just walking around would get cut. But in the game, you have to. All this is a continuous process.
で、そうやって自分の時間のリズムでゲームをやってると、突然カットシーンで映画のカットバックとかになると、ちょっと違和感があるんですよね。
Now you're playing a game going through this continuous timeline, and then on a cutscene, then you add cuts and the timeline changes, and that feels strange to the player.
なんで僕のゲームで例えば主人公がある設備に入っていくとこも、映画でいうと入り口があってもいきなり中に入っててもいいんですけど、レストランでもいきなり席についてご飯食うててもいいんですけど、それをせずに、中に入っていって椅子に座ってレストランで料理を注文するとこまでカットシーンでやると。いや、そこはやっぱりゲームのリズム感とカットシーンのリズム感を合わせるためです。
Now in my games, the way I try to do it is instead of like in a cutscene when a character goes into a restaurant, instead of just shifting from getting to the restaurant and already eating, I do the whole. I describe the whole thing. The character goes into the restaurant, sits in, looks at the menu, just to try not to disrupt the rhythm of the player that the game is flowing.
But where did that idea come to you? By the way, if you just want an image in your head, every time I go to Kojima Productions, it's just him playing with dolls. But where did that idea come to you? Because normally with 3D cameras, normally with virtual cameras, it's this smooth movement, it's a rapid movement, and that's what gives it a feel of being computer generated. Your work was some of the first time I was seeing those continuous moves, but done in the handheld style. So if I'm going from here to there, it's done with the rockiness of handheld, and it's not moving beyond the rate of a human. And so it feels more natural, but it's still doing impossible camera moves. So where did the idea come to you?
またアングルとしては人間ではありえないもの。それの前では発想はどこから？
発想というか自分の中でこうもう映像が出てきますね。そのゲームの映像というかカットシーンも含めて。
So, well, the idea, I mean, I have all these images of the game in my mind.
なんか夢のような世界なんで、ディテールはあんまり見えてないんですよ、最初は。音も聞こえてますけど、人の顔はあんまりぼんやりしてて、着てる服装とかもあんまりはっきりしてないんですけど、動きとかその臨場感はその時のイメージであります。
Kind of like being in a dream where the details aren't too clear. There's sound to it, but I can't. There are no details into people's faces or overall details. However, the movements and overall the impression, the feeling that I get from there, I do have a very clear idea.
なんでその自分のイメージしたものを俳優さんとかテクノロジーを使ってどんどんはっきりさせていくというか、ぼやっとしてたものを、ディテールをどんどん追加していくっていうそういうものづくりです、僕の場合は。
So to that idea, to that image that I have, using technology, using actors, actresses, I keep adding details into this. That's the way my method. That's my method.
One thing I've always been curious about, pretty famously in Metal Gear 4, there's several sequences that are split screen. If you were doing that as a film, would you still have chosen to do that split screen, or would you have done the more traditional Hollywood thing of cross-cutting between two different places? Because what you're doing is you're saying this is happening here, this is happening here, which is a very standard Hollywood technique, but you chose to put both things on screen at once. So was that purely a limitation of gameplay, needed to be continuous, or was that actually a stylistic choice that if that was being done in a movie, you still would have done that as a split screen event?
映画では知ってませんけど、スプリットスクリーンはよくやる監督とかいて、それは子供の頃から知ってたんで、こういう表現があるっていうのは当然知ってましたし。
Well, I mean, in movies, using the split screen is a fairly common methodology, so I was aware that this existed.
だから僕のやってるのはゲームなんです。ゲームを作ってるんで。
But I was creating a game.
で、ゲームでしかできないことをやったのが4の2回あります。上下分割のシーンは。
But so I was trying to do something unique to games. So in MGS4, there are two sections where you have this split screen.
で、1個は、レックスの上でバンプとライデンが戦ってる。これカットシーンです。アクション、猛烈なアクション半分、画面の右上で行われます。ここは、操作できません。見ているだけです。
So there's a scene where the top part of the screen is Rex with in a battle with Bamp and Raiden. This is an action, a scene full of action. The player can't control it.
すごい手間かかってお金もかかってます。必ず見てほしいカットではあります。そこはね。
It's a scene that I want everyone to see. I put a lot of resources and a lot of time into it.
で、下が今度ゲーム自分が操作するスネークがいるんですけど。
And in the lower part of the screen, you have the part that you control with Snake.
で、月光がどんどん突入してきて、それを倒していかないとゲームオーバーになるんですよね。
And the geckos keep coming in, and you have to defeat the geckos, otherwise you're led into a game over.
ではライデンがバンプと戦ってて、ライデン頑張れって言いながら自分は撃つんですけど、上を見ていると負けてしまいます。
So on top you have Raiden and battling with Bamp, and you're cheering for Raiden, but if you put too much attention to the top part, you get defeated by the geckos.
ゲームに夢中になっているとライデンとバンプの名勝負を見逃してしまいます。
But on the other hand, if you're too focused on defeating the geckos, then you miss this very emblematic scene of the battle with Bamp and Raiden.
これがゲームですね。
This is a game.
で、もう一個は通路のところをスネークが張っていって、その上を、スネークの仲間たちが戦っているコラージュをしているところです。これはベルトロンも泣いたっていうシーンですけど。
So on the other part where I did this is a scene in the corridor with Snake crawling and then the collage of Snake's allies battling. This is a scene that made Guillermo del Toro himself cry.
ここはスネークが張っていくのは、ボタン連打だけなんですけど、もうボタン連打なんかもややと言いながらも上を見ると頑張っている仲間たちを見えてよりボタンを早く押せる。
So this is just about bottom mashing for Snake to keep crawling, but it's quite exhausting to mash the button. But then you look up and you have all your allies having a hard time battling for you, so you also get motivated.
ここもまあそのゲームならではの、理由があってこそ成り立つシーンです。
And this is another scene where it only exists and it's only possible because it is a game.
There may or may not be a split screen action scene in the Metal Gear movie. No. I want to talk to you about. Can't talk about the movie. Sorry. Hit me up on Twitter. I want to talk to you about you saying that you originally wanted to be a film director. And then at some point in your career, you are working with actors in a recording studio. And now, I just visited you on a mocap stage. I saw him shoot the ending to Death Stranding, so I know everything. But now you're working with actors on a mocap stage, and you've got a camera. And so for the part of you that wanted to be a film director back in the day, that now you're on that stage, you're working with actors, you're working with Norman, you're working with Mads, you're working with Leah, you're working with these titans. Talk to me about how that felt to you, how that feels to sort of fully come full circle.
そうですね、俳優さんに連絡して説得して信頼関係築いて、現場で指示して一緒に作るんですけど、でレディアンアクションカットと言って、そこは映画作りと今思えばほとんど同じだと思います。
Well, yeah, definitely, getting in contact with the actors, the actresses, meeting them, building that relationship of trust, then getting in the set and sitting there, being there and saying, ready, action. Well, that's probably the same as works in movies.
なんですけど、あくまでもゲームの一部分でしかないので、カットシーンとかなんで、映画を作ってる感じではないです。やっぱりゲームを作ってるっていう、思いで演出をしてます。
But that's just one aspect of the game. Cutscenes are about a mere part of the game, so it still doesn't feel like I'm making a movie. It completely feels like I'm making a game.
でもやっぱり日頃デジタルで作ってますので、ああいうライブっていうかその俳優さんの動きとか当然体調とか日によって違いますし、ロケはもうキャップはしませんけど、ロケすると雨降ったり。天気も変わるんで、ああいうライブの要素を入れるっていうことは非常に僕は楽しいですね。一人でやってるんじゃなくて、いろんな俳優さんとの化学反応が必ず出るので、こう動きたい、こういうセリフに変えたいっていうのも当然言ってくれるので、そこはやっぱりデジタルでものづくりしている僕としては、非常に楽しい部分です。
Those organic elements that are into it, it feels those unique. It's really fun. Those unique chemical reactions that you get on the set when an actor says, "Well, I think I should move this way. I would change his line with this." All those interactions are very, very fun as a person that works in a digital environment.
When I was on set, I was talking to Norman, and he said to me, you guys were introduced via Guillermo. And he said to me, his favorite directors that he works with are guys who can take your idea and not shoot it down, but make it better and add something on top of it and build on it. And he was saying that very much is the way that the relationship that you and him have. And cultivating that relationship with actors is really difficult. Talk to me about how you've done that over the last couple of years and created room for improv. You obviously have a vision in your head, but talk to me about the room that you leave for the collaboration specifically with your actors.
僕そもそも完璧主義者、自分で言うのは変ですけどなんですけど、より良くなるんであれば人の意見は当然聞きます。
Well, I'm not sure if I should say this myself, but I'm kind of a perfectionist. So if it's if it's ideas that people give me that make something better, I'll take them in.
で、そもそも俳優さんを使うっていう生の俳優さんをライブの俳優さんを使うっていうことはそこにプラスになるので、僕が例えばノーマンの、全身とかをスキャンして 指示して僕が動いてほしい動きをするだけなら彼を使う必要はないと思うんですけど、彼には参加してもらってる、一緒にゲームを作ってもらってるという感じです。
So, in that sense, by using certain actors, certain specific actresses, I expect an input from them, a plus from them. If it was just about getting Norman in, scanning him, and just telling him what to do, and him just following that, there's no need for that person to be Norman. The idea is that he puts in his ideas and that we are creating a game together.
なんで最初ノーマンを使おうと思った時もノーマンのいいとこをすごく引き出すっていうその僕の使命があるんですけども、一緒にノーマンとサムっていうキャラクターを作っていこうと。で、最初に書いた台本からかなり変わってたりする部分も当然そこはあります。で、そういうのがないとあんまり面白くないですよね。
So, my idea when I started working with Norman, of course, I had this mission of showing the best of Norman, showing things that people haven't seen, aspects of Norman that people haven't seen. But also, at the same time, I wanted to create this character of Sam with Norman. The character has changed from what I originally conceived, and those changes are what makes it interesting.
で、それはマッツさんも、ジョーダンも来てたと思うんですけど、マッツ・ミケルセンさんもすごく提案してくれて、非常に面白い現場でしたと。
That goes also for Mads Mikkelsen. I think you were there, but Mads always puts a lot of input, and that makes the whole shooting scene very, very interesting.
一緒に彼来てくれた時はところは非常に重要なシーンで詳しいことは言えませんけど、もうマッツさんとノーマンがこうなんていうのアイデアを出し合いして僕がどこまで承認するか合戦みたいなことをしてたんで非常に楽しかったですけどね。
I can't go into too much depth about the scene where you were in because it was a crucial scene to the game. But what I do want to mention is that Mads and Norman were putting out so much ideas, so much input, and it kind of became a thing of, all right, how much can I take of that? How much can I adapt into that? And it was a very fun day.
なんで実際の俳優さんを使うっていうことで、そこはなんでしょうね、キャスティングが全てになってくると思います。その声優さんもそうですけども、やっぱりその人を使うっていうことで誰とやるかが重要です。それで全てが決まると思います。ジョーダンも分かっていると思います。子役を誰にするかっていうのも重要ですので、映画もゲームもやっぱりキャスティングが非常に重要になってくると思います。信頼関係をいかに築くかっていうところです。
So that's what using actors is, and casting, whether it's actors or voice actors, that is a crucial element. You could say that is the defining element of who are you working with. I'm pretty sure you're well aware of that, but also even for a kid, who is that kid? That's a crucial element into films, and also it's becoming an increasingly critical element into games of how you build this relationship of trust with your cast.
どっちかというとキューブリックとかキャメロンみたいにこういう動きをしろ何回もしろっていうのではなく、そういう自分にもともとそういう自分なんですけど。
So well, if I was going Stanley Kubrick style, James Cameron style, where you do this and you do this as many times as I tell you to do, well, that is kind of
やりなさいみたいな。
Go keep doing it until you get it done. That's kind of in my nature.
でもそれだと俳優さんとやる意味がないので、イーストウッドとかベン・アフレックみたいに俳優出身の人はやっぱりすごい俳優の使い方がうまいんですよね。で、そこをやっぱり吸収してゲームを作るっていうことは大切だと思ってます。
So, but if you do that, then it's not interesting. It's not fun. You have directors as Clint Eastwood, as Ben Affleck, that used to be actors, and they are very, very good at getting the best of their actors. So that's something that I want to absorb and try to adapt into the way I make games.
I want to give you guys an anecdote. When I was in Tokyo last, I was sitting down with Shinji Mikami, who directed Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4, and he's equally a legend in the game community. And we were talking about creation, and he said to me, creators take what they like, they consume it, they digest it, and then the art you make is kind of like the shit that comes out of your body. It always has your stench on it. And then I said that to you, and you were like, It's a good analogy, but I actually feel like it's more like puke because your shit doesn't have nutrients in it anymore. It's been stripped of all of that. But your puke, your vomit, still has nutrients.
ちょっと違うんですよそれ
Actually, that is a little bit different.
クソゲーはゲロとうんこなんですよ、
I mean, bad games start in this shit.
まずうんこは食べたものを吸収して栄養がないもうカス残りカスです。何も残ってないもの出すんです。これクソゲーです。
Because shit is, you eat and you absorb all the proteins, all the nutrients out of that, and this the leftovers, and that's you could say that bad games are equivalent to
で
that.
ゲロは消化する前のものを全部出してしまうんで
See how animated it is?
作品ではない。
Now, games, you take the best out of what you're eating and you put it out, all the nutrients. That's what you condense and you put in a game.
僕の場合は、いろんなものを吸収してこの中で、大きくした子供子供見て自分の血と肉を分けた子供というかそういうのが作品だと思います。
So in my case, I like to think more of, I take all these nutrients, all these things in me, and then it's like a kid for me. The best of me comes out.
It's a puke baby.
ゲロの赤ちゃん。
This is the weird fucked up relationship we have where we talk about shit and puke all day. You've talked a lot about trust and relationships, and you have led many people into battle. Filmmaking, creating stuff in my mind is battle. And so I want to talk about and bring out one of your longest collaborators that you're working with for 20 years. If any of you have ever pretty much played a game of his, if any of you have ever looked at the incredible designs of Rex and Cyborg Ninja and the beautiful line drawings that he does and brushstroke drawings that he does, I want to bring out Yoji Shinkawa. A master. How long have you guys been working together?
20年90何年やったっけ93年94です、ね、94年、はい、
20 something years, starting 1994.
It's a long time. Most relationships in film do not last that long. Yoji is a master and a legend, and there are so few people in the game industry who are able to sort of create the brand that he has unto himself. They have their own collaboration, but he's this incredible artist on his own that people trip over themselves to be inspired by. I want to talk about the very first time you guys met. You've told me this story before, but what's the first memory that you have of when you interviewed with him?
そうですね、僕がまだ学生で就職をどこにしようかなと思っていろんな会社を受けようかなと思って一番最初の会社が、前回勤めてた会社なんですけどもそこの、就職面接官として小島監督がいてたんですけど。
So I was still a student back then. I was thinking of where to look for a job. I was thinking of, I had some game companies in mind, and the first company that I applied for was a company that I was until recently. Well, my first job interview was actually with him.
その時はまだそのメタルギアを作った小島監督っていう認識は僕には全然なくて、監督とそのお話しした内容っていうのを覚えてるのはほとんどその持っていった自分が持っていった模型の作品の話ばっかりしてたような気がしますね。
Back then, I didn't know him as the creator of Metal Gear. What I can recall from that first interview, first conversation that I had with him was mostly surrounding the models that I brought in there, and we were talking about whatever I brought into the interview.
面接の前に作品評価っていうのがあって彼が持ってきた絵とかいろんなものを評価するんですけど絵を見た時にですね線が枯れてるっていうんでしょうかね、学生の絵ではないうまさというかそれとやっぱアイデアがものすごくあって今まで見たこともない車のデザインとか、 メカのディテールとかがあって、この人は絶対欲しいと思いました。
So actually, before the interview, there's a phase that where we criticize, where we then go over the works that the students that apply submit, and well, there was something very unique to his lines. What he was drawing was not the work of a student, and also it was full of ideas. He had these ideas of cars that I've never seen. His mechs had so much detail. So at that point, I was already sold that I wanted to work with this person.
で大体すごいできる人って変な人が多いんでまあ変な人やったら嫌やなと。で線が枯れてるんで、まあ35億のおっさんかなと思ったらしんちゃんがこのまま現れて、ちょっとびっくりしましたね。すごいギャップでした。作ったものと本人の雰囲気っていうのが。
And well, people that are so good, especially artists, his lines were so special, so thin that people like this tend to be very, very weird, strange people. So I pictured this weird 35, 36 weirdo, and then Yoji, as he is, just showed up, and there was a huge the idea that I had made of him and the person that showed up.
でまあしんちゃんも今模型の話してましたけど。その会社の試験で、課題があるんですけど、
亀でしたよね。
亀をいろんなものに展開させる。
そうですね。
で大体持ってくるのは絵です。大体ほとんど 100%、まあ油絵の人もいれば、ね、パステルとかで描いてる人もいますけど、絵を持ってきます。まあ、大体 2,3 日かけて持ってくるんでしょうけど、それで評価をするんですけど。
So Yoji mentioned the models, the sculptures that he brought. Actually, in the company, there was a test where the people were asked, I think the theme was turtles. Yes, it was definitely turtles, where they were asked to make a motif out of turtles and then expand on that theme of turtles. And most people, I'd say 100% of the people that applied, they brought their paintings, their drawings, different techniques. They spent 2-3 days creating this work.
でしんちゃんはこんなフルスクラッチの立体物を持ってきたんです。こんなでかい
粘土こねてこんなガメラみたいな出来損ないでしたけど、
いやいやすごい出来がいいんで。
And Shinchan, he brought a full scale like Gamera model made from scratch from clay.
はい、でもう出来がいいんで面接じゃなくどうやって作ったのかとかこの素材は何なのかと。
He was so well done that I put his job interview totally aside and just asked him like, well, how you made this? Like, what is this detail?
値段まで聞いてましたね、素材のね。
そうですね。どこで買ったんだって言われて、いや普通のお店で買ったんです。
なかなか当時あれ売ってなかったんで。
Yeah, he was asking like, right, where do you find this material? Because it was material very unusual. And he was like, actually, it's not that strange. It's fairly common stuff. And that was a conversation back then.
でもその時はですね、他の部署の人と一緒に面接してるんで、まあしんちゃんが欲しいんで、どうやってしんちゃんを僕の部署に入れるかっていう、それしか考えてなかったです。
And at that point, because I was not the only person interviewing him, there were people from other divisions of the company also interviewing him. All I was thinking is, how do I get this guy to my team?
危なかったですよね。もうちょっとでヘンリーエクスプローラーズっていうなんか変なシューティングを作る人形を実際にアーマーチュア組んでコマ撮りをしてそれを取り込んだやつをこうプレイヤーが打つっていうアーケードゲームがあったんですけど、もうちょっとでそこに行きそうになりました。
Actually, I almost went elsewhere. There was this weird game called Henry Explorers. It was a shooting game where like dolls were the players were shooting the dolls, some dolls that were put in the game, some arcade style game, and I was almost assigned to that team.
The reason I bring that up is one, just the image of like a little baby Shinkawa-san bringing in a little statue that he looks at and nerds out about. But also he was fresh out of school. And they've been this is one of the most iconic relationships in gaming in my mind, and they met so early on. I think it's so incredible. One quick thing, we had some technical difficulties up front, so you guys probably want to hear us talk for like another 5 minutes, right? I think you should say that louder so that okay, there we go. So communicating a vision is one of the hardest things to do in filmmaking, in creating anything. When the two of you collaborate, when you say, I have this idea for a mech, but it's almost more like a kaiju than a mech. When you say, I have this robot ninja character, talk to me just about the process of how it goes from something that you're saying to something that you're doing, that you're bringing back. I want to sort of illuminate to them what that process is and how it works.
どういうやり取りをしてるのか教えてください。
まあ例えばレックス、メタルギアのレックスは恐竜のレックスみたいな歩き方をして吠えるのが欲しいな、しんちゃん。
ジュラシックパークがねやってたんですよね。
いやもうレックス好きなんで。
For Rex, for example, I brought to Shinchan like, hey, I want something like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
すごいやってたもんね。
結構1ヶ月以上悩んで、
でそこでしんちゃんは模型もできるんで、じゃあ家で模型を作ってきたらっていうので、それで
そうですね、
家に帰って電話で報告するんです。今日このぐらいできましたっていうので、立体で最初から立体でしんちゃんが考えて作ったデザインがメタルギアのレックスなんで。
So he started working at it, but he was just doing drawing it in 2D, and spent about a month, and it went well, and did so many designs and was going well. So he suggested, right, why don't you make a sculpture out of it? Just go home and stay there and just make the sculpture, and just report to me on the phone. We'll talk on the phone daily. Just you tell me how you're progressing. And so Rex, actually, from the beginning, it was made as a sculpture.
で忍者は、
家で模型をしてお金もらえるってすごいいいなと思いました。
And for me, it was fantastic. I was just like, right, I'm just making a sculpture at home, and I'm getting paid to do this. It's awesome.
シンナーとか吸ってしんちゃん大丈夫？夜にいつも電話をして大丈夫かって
時々ね家まで来て
時々遊びに帰りしんちゃんの家まで行って大丈夫かと、シンナー吸ってへんかみたいな。
And I was worried, with the sculptures, are you inhaling too much thinner or something? Are you okay? I was calling him the phone. Every now and then I would drop by on my way back from the company to his house and see if he was doing okay, if he was not intoxicated with thinner.
忍者の場合は逆で、僕がいろんなキャラを頼んでたんですけど、ラフがどんどん来るんですけど、落書きみたいなのがあって、そこに忍者の原型みたいなのがあって、これ何やこれみたいな、忍者ですみたいな。
そうですね。どこが忍者やねんって形ですけどね。
So for Cyber Ninja, it was the opposite case where I asked him to do different characters, different sketches from characters. He brought the sketches. They were almost like doodles, and then he said, like, I asked him, like, what is this? And he said, it's a ninja. It's like, doesn't look like a ninja at all.
なんで、脚本も全部書き直して忍者を入れて、そこからまたやり取りをしてっていう感じです。
So I had to go back and rewrite the script so that ninja could be in the game, and from there we started going again back and forth.
本当に自分たちが作りたいものとか自分がかっこいいって思ってたものをただ純粋にこうやってたっていうような印象はあります。
My feeling back then was that I was just being able to output what I really wanted to make, what I thought it was cool. That is what I was being asked to do. So that was my impression of back then.
So last question. What is something that you've given him a prompt on that he came back with something that was just infinitely better and changed your mind about something, and he added something new to it? And then for you, what's something, just talk to me about a memory on something that the two of you struggled on or that you didn't think would work, and talk to me about sort of a breakthrough moment.
でそれで苦戦してて苦戦した上で何かうまくいったそういうことを一つずつ教えてください。
何かね
難しかったやっぱ今回のノーマンのスーツはすごい苦戦しましたけどね。
When it comes to difficulties, Norman suit that we made for this time was very, very difficult.
今までのヒーローとは違うちょっとブルーカラーなで装備品もそういう方向でっていうオファーだったんですけど、そこは結構時間をかけて。
I wanted something unlike a hero, something more blue collar, and some equipment that we took a lot of time doing that.
あと
そうです。一番最初は全然こうライデンのスカルスーツみたいな、そんなちょっともっと SF 感の強い、まあラバースーツみたいな感じだったんですけど、まあ実際にゲームの中で動かしてみたらやっぱ違和感があるというか、世界観に違うのかなっていうので監督と相談して、もっと普通がいいんじゃっていうことでいろいろ練り直して今の形になってますけど。
まあカラーリングもそうですけどね。
So at the beginning, it was more of like a skull suit, like kind of the one that Raiden is wearing, more science fiction-ish, more like a rubber suit. But when implementing that into the game, it didn't feel natural. It didn't feel like it was fitting that world. So we tried many different options. He told me to try maybe something more natural, something more normal. And well, through those iterations,
ベノムスネークの時に僕はもうあれ悪魔なんで、ここに角を両方生やしてくると。で尻尾をつけたからですよ。悪魔の尻尾。それを発注するので堅くなに嫌ですと。
For Venom Snake, he was supposed to be a devil. He has this horn, and I kept asking me like, put a devil's tail into him. I really want, and he just kept saying, no way, nope, not gonna happen.
両方嫌なんでこっちに2本つけます。
So he really didn't want to put that devil tail, so instead he put the horn.
僕はもう尻尾はいいから、じゃあスリングが1本垂れて、たまに見る人が見たら尻尾に見えるみたいな、それでどうみたいな。
And then at some point I gave up on the idea of the tail. I was like, all right, never mind the devil tail, but just maybe some sleeve, something that some people at some point maybe get the impression that looks like a tail.
すごいでもね、それでかっこよくなったと思いますし。
Yeah, I think that actually made the character look cool.
Very frequently, I tell my artists, I'm like, do this thing. And they're like, that's stupid. And then I have to convince them to do it. And eventually you figure out the way to get that one horn. We have to wrap it up. Thank you guys for coming. Hopefully we'll be back next year for a part 3. Also, as a fun fact, today is 31 days away from the 31st anniversary of the release of Metal Gear on the MSX. Please give it up for the legendary Yoji Shinkawa and the man himself, Hideo Kojima. Tell them you want us back next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it was great hearing from Hideo Kojima all about Death Stranding. And, well, if you watched PlayStation Showcase last night, you might recognize this little friend here. It was from the Resident Evil 2 trailer, which debuted last night. And we've got some fine folks from Capcom right here and right now to give us a live gameplay demo. Let's check it out. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks for having us.
That was an epic announcement last night at the showcase. And I mean, how long have you guys kind of been guarding this secret?
I mean, so we actually, we're teasing that this title was going to be in development about 3 years ago, August 2015.
Yeah.
But literally when we showed that off, it was a PowerPoint presentation, a stack of papers. That's literally what the game was. So it did take us some time, but we're finally here and super happy to have it here at PlayStation. So.
Well, I'm a huge personal fan of the Resident Evil series. I played all of Resident Evil 7 in VR for hours at a time. It was a ton of fun. And Resident Evil 2 is also a favorite of mine in the series. It's the only game that ever got me to skip school. Don't do that, kids. I wanted to buy it on day one. So I actually left school and went to the local retailer to pick it up. But I can't advise that. But I say we get right to gameplay because I know this is a big deal. I'm really excited to see what you guys are up to.
For sure.
Check it out.
All right. Yeah, we're going to have our producer, Yoshiaki Hirabayashi, and Yoshi Kondo with us today.
Hi.
Thanks again for coming.
Nice to meet you guys.
So let's jump right in.
All right. Firing up Resident Evil 2 here. Got quite a crowd here at the PlayStation E3 booth.
So here you can see, again, Resident Evil 2 is very near and dear to tons of people's hearts. And just this first shot of the Raccoon City Police Department, like the huge open foyer, like tons of nostalgia just like hit you. It's pretty crazy. Like, not everything is exactly right where you remember it, but that's kind of intentional because this game isn't just a remake. It's a whole new game that we're building off of the foundation that the original game had built. So there's going to be a lot of familiar stuff, but there's going to be a lot of new stuff as well. So.
And that's how you got to do it, right? I mean, it's been close to 20 years, hasn't it?
Yep.
Right.
This game alone, 20 years.
Wow.
Does it make you feel old, Sid? I feel old when I
know.
That makes me feel a little old.
Steven, Marvin, you there? I found a way out. It's in here.
So did you actually go back and rewatch the original and then like frame by frame decide what you wanted to keep in and what you wanted to update?
Definitely, yeah. Some of them were like are pretty faithful to the originals, but something like this back in the day on PlayStation, it was graphic power. It's not quite the level of PS4 or PS4 Pro just yet. A lot of the movements, characters jumping around, fully voiced stuff. It's a little bit more crude, but definitely classic. But some stuff is new, but some of the originals are there as well.
So a big change here is the fact that we're really playing the game. We're Leon Kennedy. And when I think of Leon Kennedy, I think of Resident Evil 2, but I also think of Resident Evil 4.
Yes.
And you guys have opted for more of a Resident Evil 4 approach to the controls. So tell me a little bit about that.
Definitely. So the over-the-shoulder thing, we know it's the original game with the fixed camera in the corner. That's very, again, near and dear to people's hearts. But with the over-the-shoulder camera, we're building a new game. This isn't a remake of the original. It is a full new game that we really want to push. And the idea of having over the shoulder, the pinpoint accuracy of really trying to take down zombies, it felt better for this experience, so that's where we went through. So,
but the big difference is the it's less shooter elements compared to the Resident Evil 4. This is more, like a Metroidvania style, survival horror, classic gameplay. So we actually try to keep the original, gameplay feel from the original. So that's kind of what we were trying to do in this new Resident Evil 2 as well.
The lighting feels very similar too.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, definitely one other thing is like, so to make it like, people always see the over-the-shoulder first person, think of just like, you're going to be running up the walls and doing backflips and things like that. It is definitely not like that at all. The zombies in this game are tough. And not just like, if you see one or two or three, like, I got to look out. If you see one in a hallway and you can't get by them, like you have to, you fear for your life type thing because you're probably going to die. So you really got to be careful with your ammo.
And to confirm, these are zombies a la Resident Evil 2, not Las Plagas. So
these are your T-virus zombies.
Right.
Just had to settle that one.
So Leon here is trying to save one of the fellow RPD officers. It's not looking good, unfortunately. So
that didn't go very well.
Now, we know there's going to be some familiar faces in this as well, and some characters that we've seen in other games. We saw that in the showcase asset just last night. But tell me a little bit about the approach to that.
Definitely. So we've got, of course, like, not only do we have Leon has his own campaign, we also wanted to bring back Claire Redfield. So she's not playable in this demo, but she, as well, is going to get her full playable campaign, too.
Awesome.
So, the rest of the characters are kind of, we haven't really confirmed too much yet, so I advise you to go back and watch the trailer. You can kind of make some good guesses, I think, based on those, but we'll leave it to your imagination.
Awesome. This is cool here. This is super tense.
So we're getting into here. So every time a zombie bites you, you really feel like you get that over-the-shoulder perspective really helps because you get to see the zombies. You really feel them kind of like bite into your neck just like that.
Yeah.
It kind of disorients you, too, when you get that, so you're spun around. It creates sort of a real, oh, crap, what's going on? A zombie's actually attacking me.
And this is all running in the engine of Resident Evil 7, right?
It is. This is actually the RE engine. So the same game that powered RE7 is actually going to be running this game, too, as well. H, are you okay? You going to do this?
Yeah. It's very terrible.
So again, like, they are no joke. Like, you get bit once or twice, and it's almost done. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Look at this, like restroom. We added the restroom.
Yeah, so that was one thing that was really in the PS1 game. It was one of those ones. It's limitations back in the day, but there were actually no restrooms in the original PlayStation.
Right.
That's a good point, actually.
Right?
So in this demo, we wanted to make sure that we have a fully functioning bathroom. We put a little treat inside there for you, a first aid spray.
That's a back of box.
Right.
If I've ever heard of one.
I noticed you just picked up some first aid spray before. A lot of what I love about survival horror games is the limited supplies. You really have to like think things through. Is that an element that you guys are working with?
Yeah, those are sort of like the emergency last minute things. But again, like it is really survival horror to its fullest. Like you're going to need to conserve those as you can see in his inventory there, he only had a handful of bullets. So if you run out of bullets, there's no like. We did add certain things like, you know, if you find a la RE7 some gunpowder and some other resources, you can make more. But if you're out, you're pretty much going to be out. So really wanted to drive home the survival aspect of this game.
Is there a knife? Is that included?
There is. So a little bit later, if we get far enough, we will show you the knife. It functions way similar to when we did the original Resident Evil 1 remake. So instead of just being something that you use and you can slash it to keep guys at bay, but these guys are ironclad, and that's generally probably not the best idea.
Yeah.
If you do get grappled, you get the chance to use it as sort of an emergency weapon to get rid of that zombie and get him off you. Cool. But if it's still, it does have a little bit of durability as well. So if it's still durable enough, you can actually pick the knife off the zombies that you just killed, get a little bit more out of it too. So
interesting. What other sort of mechanical tweaks and changes are you guys implementing here that longtime fans might notice?
Definitely. Kana-san, you want to take this one?
Well, yes, the gameplay mechanics. So season we actually feature now, you know, over the shoulder camera view. So the we actually trying to put like more kind of like intense combat, you know, feel against the zombies. So and also the way, you know, like Leon is actually, you know, shooting is the kind of like more like natural. Feel more close to the like Resident Evil 7 kind of combat style.
There is some stuff a little bit later in the demo too, where it wasn't present in the original game, where it's a little bit, it kind of, again, pushing that survival aspect of the game. You can find like wooden boards to board up windows, to choose whether you want to board up that one, if that zombie is a really problem for you. Otherwise, you can save it later in case something else comes up. But it really is about that choice of how do you want to play.
That is cool. That's something I've always wanted to see in more like zombie games. Is the ability to fortify. You know what I mean?
Stuff.
Because that's like the first thing you're going to do, right? If you were in a real zombie attack.
Board everything up.
And you're
obviously, Sid and I are big Resident Evil fans, but for those out there that maybe haven't, you know, approached the franchise before or something, do you feel like this is a good title to start with?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, this is almost the like Resident Evil 2 is obviously the second game in the franchise, but really is sort of the genesis of where a lot of the groundswell around the brand came up. So again, if you haven't played this title before, the story is about Raccoon City is a Midwestern town. A mysterious outbreak hits. Zombies are everywhere. It's Leon, the guy with the RPG vest on here. It's his first day on the job as a cop, and he's basically coming to work, and what happened? There's zombies everywhere. He's finding his comrades are basically going through hell. And Claire Redfield, who is the other character in the game, she's a college student. She's looking for her brother Chris, who works in the Special Forces. And they basically fates intersect, and you'll be able to sort of see each other's perspectives throughout the game. So
now he's got the combat knife.
Yes.
So
here we have our knife.
Yeah.
That we get from Marvin.
Marvin, yes.
There you go, kind of like the classic slash. Using the knife always reminds me of back in the day. It's like you get a couple rounds inside the zombie, and then like just to make sure, get a couple slashes on the ground. Because half the time they'll come up and just like grab you as you walk by.
This is not how I imagined it.
So again, a lot of these rooms, especially this one too, it's like that door necessarily wasn't there in the first game or the original RE2, but this room is super iconic for a lot of reasons, but it's not quite the same as you might remember it too. If you turn this corner in the original game, you might have remembered something crawling by that window. It's not there anymore, but it takes a lot different forms later. So yeah, we want to keep people on their toes. They expected that there, but we're going to move it because we don't want you to know everything that's going to come
you can't have the dogs jumping out of the same window, right?
RE's all about jump scares and getting people off their seats. So like, if they know everything that's coming, that's no fun.
Now, I don't want you to spoil anything here, but you know, I've played Resident Evil 2 quite a few times. Is there the same general sort of arc to the experience, or?
There is. So I'd say that the story on the whole, here's a great shot of the RE Engine's proudest work here. Pretty nasty.
Crazy.
But yeah, so the story as a whole, like in general, you'll see a lot of the same things be happening, but again, it's not exactly the same. So you'll see, you know, characters that you might have just like talked with very briefly. You get a little bit more backstory into there. Places that you just walked by in downtown Raccoon City, you're going to get a chance to go in there and play a little bit more. So.
And you had mentioned Claire will be a playable character. Will that sort of crossover, they had the ability to sort of interact with each other's storyline a little bit in the original game?
Right, from time to time. So it's going to be slightly different because back in the day it was we called it a zapping system. You could play A and B scenarios, but we wanted to have their own separate campaign. They certainly will be crossing over, but it's going to be updated, modified for this new version of the game too. So
awesome. This is looking great, guys. I'd love to sit here actually and do this for about another 15 or 20 minutes, but I think we actually got to get going.
Okay.
Which is a super bummer because it looks just awesome. And this is one of my. Well, let's get this guy. Let's get him.
He just wants some snacks, you know.
Right.
He's feeling a
You
little
just leave him be. That's fine too.
All
Leave him
right.
do his stuff. So
Very reluctantly, I will have to bid you farewell. Thank you so much
We don't
for
have to
coming
wait
by.
very long to get our hands on
Okay.
it, though, right?
yes, you're right.
Yes.
It comes out January 25th next
Yes,
year.
yes.
Please look forward to it. Only a couple short months away. We do have this game playable at our Capcom
Yeah.
Security.
Oh, actually, one thing I wanted to mention at the end is this rat is actually kind of the main concept of our announcement trailer. So it started from like rat view. So the one we showed at PlayStation Showcase is actually it's slightly different from the one uploaded on YouTube.
Oh.
So people actually if you guys haven't seen both versions, please enjoy it.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming by, showing off Resident Evil 2, coming to PS4 in January. Coming up next, we have Trover Saves the Universe. That's the new PlayStation VR game from Justin Roiland and Squanch Games. And a look at Neo 2. Stay with us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Nicely done, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Got the gameplay.
Oh, we have actual
Millions
gameplay?
and one
It's just
Wait, what?
Hey, everybody. We are back here live. This is PlayStation Live from E3 2018. We're live from Los Angeles in the PlayStation booth, and we have a very special guest with us, two very special guests. We've got Mr. Justin Roiland.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
How are you today?
Very well.
Good. That's good.
I can't wait to talk some more with you. Perhaps
Yeah.
you'll do one of your fun voices.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, let's just do a whole segment making them do the voices. Yeah, that'll be great.
and Tanya as well from Squanch Games.
Hello.
Very nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
And of course, Justin Massinger.
Yeah, whatever. I'm here. The less popular Justin.
So let's talk about this trailer that came out last night at the big.
No, but he is a character you're going to meet along your epic journey through the cosmos. Bathtub Guy will be very helpful to you in your journey, yes.
Are you confirming that we're traveling through the cosmos and Trover
Oh,
saves
yeah.
the universe?
This is a big adventure you're going to be going on. You'll be using your telepod to travel the cosmos.
Yeah, the telepod, I played an early build of this game a while back, and I really like the mechanic of the telepod. It's a really clever way to solve the idea of movement in VR, because you're looking down, you are controlling the character directly with the thumbsticks, but, it's tough to be able to really move around a huge world to solve that problem without having to, force camera changes and all that. So the telepod, can you just tell us really quick, give us a rundown on how that works?
Well, there's two things. So the telepod is more of almost like a circular elevator. You use that to travel to other planets.
Ah, okay.
That's like your car.
Oh, okay,
in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the warp nodes. That's probably what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You play as yourself, and then you also play as Trover.
As your partner Trover.
Yeah.
who's a chatty Cathy, that Trover. He's got a lot of things to say.
That's right. Real quick, I think we've got some footage here for those of you who maybe didn't see that showcase last night, so let's check it out now.
Footage.
Footage.
Sweet footage.
We'll see. There's Squanch Games.
Oh.
Off to a good start.
That delicious logo.
Okay, there's that bathtub guy.
Yeah.
So we're rolling that trailer from last
Not
night.
about bathtub guy.
Look at that guy.
So is this like a playable scenario in the game, or
This is a location, let's say. Yeah, this is a location in the game.
And here we're seeing what the actual game looks like. Oh,
yeah,
just a blink of it.
Yeah, this is a teaser trailer. We wanted to make sure we didn't give away too much.
Those adventure-y bits. Was this game created out of a desire to make a 3D platform? But I know that you're intensely interested in VR. Squanch Games has had a lot to do with VR. But is it just like, hey, we want to make like a slashy game? Like, is that where that came from?
Yeah, I wanted a really sticky, fun, platformer slash, action. But I love the combination of you being there with this little purple partner, Trover, and you're working together to figure things out and to progress. But then also because you're there, when you meet an NPC or another weird character in the world, they're talking directly to you.
Yeah.
And you can answer them, literally in the game. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this game. Like a lot. But I mean, the North Star for us was really, once we had that foundation of really good, solid, sticky gameplay, it was like, okay, now we're going to build a house of comedy on top of it, and we're going to make fun of ourselves. We're going to make fun of, just game tropes and.
Yeah, give me an example of that, because I was kind of expecting that from this. Like, you're a huge gamer, and that's something I wanted to point out. You and I talked back at PlayStation Experience last year. You're a huge gamer, it's very clear. So what kinds of themes do you explore in Trover?
Jumping. No, I don't.
I mean, do you call out certain games or like mock certain games?
We try to keep it very much in its own universe, for the most part. Although we'll make comments and references, but they're masked as like an alien version of the thing we're talking about.
Okay.
So if we're going to do a pop culture joke, it'll be sort of underneath a layer of weirdness. But it's more like really casting really funny people to do the voices, and then really loose, like having fun in the booth.
Yeah.
Outtakes for intakes, stuttering, messing up a line and using it, breaking character, because I might, or whoever's recording might like go completely off script and like make some bizarre thing up, and then we're all laughing at it.
That's some of the.
And then we use that in the game.
That's like, I mean, you've had that style of humor for a long time. I mean, that's one of my favorite shows. Rick and Morty definitely has a strong
like interdimensional cable. It's it's like that. It's
Is it a whole game of sort of interdimensional cable?
Kind of. I mean, interdimensional cable is like really out there. This game's really out there, but it's got the backbone of like a large narrative that's very followable. You understand what you're doing, where you need to go, why you're going there. The stakes are high within the context of the story. So you have all that as a nice foundational backbone, but then then it's just like, a lot of interdimensional cable moments where it's like, certain characters, bathtub guy, for example, or voodoo person, or I don't know. There's a ton of weird characters in the game that you
Yes.
along the way, and those are all really fun, loose. We're just having fun with that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's great. Yeah.
We've been waxing philosophical a lot about game design and all this, but can we like dive down a little bit and talk about the actual mechanics of the gameplay, or are we talking about that yet?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, the one thing I will say is, it's fully playable on non-VR, so it's fully playable on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
So you don't even need VR to play the game. And then there are going to be jokes in the non-VR version that are not in the VR version. Which is kind of great. So anyone who's way into the game, if they want even more. It's roughly the same. I mean, it's pretty much the same experience, but
that's interesting. But you've built flags in there depending on whether the player is playing on a flat screen or in VR.
Yeah.
I assume like dialogue changes.
And I'm not Peter Molyneuxing us right now by saying that, right? I mean,
maybe a little.
Oh, okay. Well, no. I know that there. I know that there
you got
are
a
like
cube right there.
We have some funny mechanics that that we had to do, or that we couldn't do in traditional, right? So we took that as an opportunity to make those into jokes.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's like it makes me excited for the traditional, regular PS4 version of the game, just because there's stuff that is absolutely hilarious.
Can I also address really quick how difficult it is to focus when I'm hearing your voice here and I'm also hearing your voice?
Oh, it's weird.
Coming
Yeah,
from the trailer here.
Yeah.
And can we?
Oh man, what's going on? I hear my voice over there. Hey, what's up? I'm bathtub person. I mean, it's just like
Justin,
it's really hard to concentrate.
You are a big VR proponent. You're a huge Resident Evil 7 fan.
Loved it.
So good. We just had the Resident Evil 2 guys up here, by the way.
Oh, man.
No VR in that one, but just I thought you might like the note.
Oh well, why not? No,
Yeah.
no, I know.
Resident Evil 7, though, I know you love VR. So tell me a little bit about what you learned working with Crows on Accounting Plus that maybe you're sort of leveraging here into Trover.
I think that it was more, a shared sensibility of opt-in moments. So it's like, imagine you have a cutscene in a game, and a lot of games will sort of lock you in and force you to sit and listen to a character babble about whatever it is that's narratively important to the game. And I have a much more like let's let the player make that decision. If they want to sit and listen, this character might talk for 20 minutes. If they want to sit and listen to that character, they're more than welcome to. If they don't, it's not gonna they can just go. You know what I mean? We never forced the player to do anything, and that was very much a high level design philosophy in accounting, where it's like, let's record a ton of stuff, but if a player figures out how to get out of a room, they don't need to sit and listen to this stuff unless they, and maybe it's a second playthrough that they go in and they go, okay, I think this guy was talking about I don't know what, I can't even think of an example, but he was starting to talk about something very weird that I kind of ran away from. So I'm going to go and play the game again, and I'm just going to sit and see where that goes on my second playthrough. And that's something that's very much in this game as well.
Yes.
But yeah, and accounting is so different than this game, just in that, you don't have a third, like Tanya said, this is it's a first-person, third-person game.
Yes.
It's very weird. I don't think it's. I could be wrong, but I can't think of another game that's done that, where it's like
you're co-op with yourself.
Yeah, you're co-op with yourself. You're in the game as a first-person character.
Yeah.
But then there's a third-person character that you're also controlling, and it actually works really, really well. Like control-wise, it's actually really comfortable and not overcomplicated or clumsy. It's actually really, really intuitive. Yeah.
You talked a bit about the dialogue. Does the team ever get a little bit sad thinking about all the dialogue that players are not going to hear because no one's? I mean, there are probably a few, but
no, everyone will hear everything. I mean, you know how it is now, Twitch and stuff. It's like it'll eventually all be heard. If anything, we're sad thinking about
the possibilities.
And how can we? I want
everything.
more dialogue.
Yes.
I want to hide what's stuff that people won't hear.
You should just secretly patch in more lines without telling anybody.
Yeah.
So the game itself was built to be very contextual. So we want the player to feel like they're the star of this game as they're playing, and they're doing things with Trover that they're like, it's like typical gamer stuff. Like, I'm just jumping over here and checking this out, and Trover will respond in real time. He's like, why are you over here doing this thing? You should be over there. We're not on track right now. We need to do something. You know what I mean? It's the game. We continue to build it that way, and that's Justin.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing that I really want to push in VR is having characters that are very aware of you. And what you're doing. I love that in VR, and just in games in general. And it's nothing new, but it's something that I think is really important.
And you bring a really special sort of lens to that, I think. I would love to talk for the next 45 minutes about this
guys.
game. Let's go. Unfortunately, we're on a tight schedule. We got to get going.
Samus. Oh, that's just Smash Brothers. I thought there was a new Metroid game. Sorry, I got excited.
Justin, Tanya,
on this
pleasure. We are all looking forward to Trover Saves the Universe coming to PlayStation VR.
Absolutely.
And playable on PS4 as well. Stay with
Pick
us. Stay with us. We've got a lot more coming up, including a look at Neo 2.
Sam Porter preaches. The man who delivers. Tears. Chiral allergy. So, you have dooms, like me. What's your level?
I've got the extinction factor, but I think you got me beat.
You can see them, right?
No, but I can sense them.
Want to come work for me? Must be tough out here on your own.
I can't help you with that. I make deliveries. That's all.
The silent faulty feeling. The silent fault. The silent faulty feeling. The silent fault. I silent fall to the ceiling. I silent run to the kneeling. A silence for the feeling. Ran out of all the meaning. I ran out of. It's hard to fall believing. It's hard to fall. So many men are losing while out there doing the proving. It's no surprise he's doing me. Headed into town. Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long. The time fall fast forwards whatever it touches, but it can't wash everything away. past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam, what's your status? Chiralium density is still increasing.
My status is fucked. There's tons of them.
Can you sit out the rain?
No. They're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater.
An idea.
A cryptobite a day keeps the time fall away.
You're too late. You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
Wow, right. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to PlayStation Live from E3. We resume. We're going to be looking at Nioh 2, and joining me on stage, some of the folks from Team Ninja. We have Yasuda-san, we have Lee-san, and another Lee-san, Tom Lee-san. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. It's good to have everyone here, and Justin, it's good as always to have you
also
along.
here.
So let me start. At the top, I want to know, Yasuda-san, what your goal was when creating Nioh 2, and did the team have a particular philosophy in their work?
はい、今回の、Nioh2に関する目標は何だと思っていますか。そしてチームが開発における哲学のようなものは持っていますか。
そうですね。ちょうど昨日Nioh2発表させていただいたんですけど、今回はですね、正しく進化させるっていうのを一つのテーマにしてます。前作非常にいい評価いただいたんですけど、やっぱり私たちしっかりできなかった部分もいっぱいあったので、今回そういったものをしっかりですね、いいとこは正しく伸ばして悪いとこはしっかり潰していくっていう形で、続編ではありますけど、新作のような気持ちで新しいものを今作ろうと思ってます。
So my goal for this Nioh 2 would be a proper and a proper evolution, a natural evolution, not dramatic change, not obviously deteriorate, but what is, because in the first title, although we're very happy with how it was received, but there were things that we couldn't accomplish at the same time. So I'd like to, strengthen what we did well, at the same time fix some of the issues that couldn't be done in time. So yeah, that's what I like to see happen in the Nioh 2.
What are some of the lessons that the team learned during the development of the first game that you're keeping in mind while developing Nioh 2?
その前作で、得た教訓で、今回生かしたいものについてちょっとお聞かせいただけますか。
そうですね。チーム忍者もともと忍者ガイデンをずっと作っていたので、アクションゲームの経験あったんですけど、日本はアクション RPG なので、やっぱりキャラクターの成長だったり、そういったところのバランシングですよね。RPG 部分のバランスを取るのがすごく初経験だったこともあって、すごくアップデートの時にやっぱりお客さんに非常に良くないアップデートをかけてしまったりとか、そういったことあったので、2ではそういうことないようにしっかり計画して、ゲーム作っていきたいなと思ってます。
So, okay, Team Ninja, we're known for creating action games, but Nioh, on the other hand, was first action RPG that we'd ever dealt with. So, I'd say in some of the game balancing and in the RPG department, and some of the game updates had certain issues that players might not necessarily were happy with. So that's something I'd like to improve on, and we'll do better this time.
Okay. Before we get to another question, I think we can maybe run some footage of the game on our big screen here for our audience as I get to our next question. And I'm curious to know how, Yasuda-san, the story of Nioh 2 fits into the existing story and the larger character development that your team has done so far.
今回のストーリーは、前作とどういう絡みがあるんでしょうか。
そうですね。絡みはあるんですけど、時代だったりキャラクターだったりっていうのはまた今後少しずつ皆さんにお伝えしていきたいなとは思います。ただ1作目遊んでなくても2作目は楽しめますし、1作目遊んでたらより楽しめるものにしたいなと思ってて、ちょっと宣伝になっちゃうんですけど、今Nioh 1セール中なので。ぜひプレイしていただけたらなと思います。
Okay, so yes, it ties in with the first story. How, like time and setting, those will reveal in the coming days. But to me, I feel that people who's never played Nioh 1 could enjoy the story, but it will be even more so for people who didn't. For people who actually played the first game. But this is just sales talk. But Nioh right now is on sale, so we'd like to invite people who's never tried the game to give it a try.
Nice plug. Good call.
Perfect plug. Justin, take the next one.
Yeah. Did the way that players reacted to the first game influence the team when creating Nioh 2?
Can you repeat that question again?
Did the way that players reacted to the first game influence the way that the team approached Nioh 2?
ユーザーの一作目に対するフィードバックが、今回活かせるところはどういうところでしょうか。
そうですね、やっぱり前回も体験版を数回やってプレイヤーのフィードバックいただきながら改善していったんですけど、今回は新しくナンバリング2ということなんで、結構意見多くいただいてた主人公のキャラクタークリエイトに対応しようと思ってます。
Okay, so we did 2 demos before the first Neo was launched. And, we're truly grateful for all the feedback that we received from our fans. Now, having said that, after the game was launched, one of the biggest requests that we had was to have the character creation. And that's something we're going to implement in the second one.
Oh, cool.
人種だったり、性別だったりもいろんな姿でプレイできるようにしようかなと思う。
So players will definitely be able to customize all the details, including like gender and race.
Oh, that's awesome.
Excellent. Another thing that I'm curious about is, what do you think makes the series or makes this game unique and sets it apart from other, third-person action-oriented games?
他のアクションゲームと比べて、ニオのユニークなところはどういったところでしょうか？
やっぱり一番特徴的なのは近接の格闘コンバットかなと思っていて、刀とか、そういった日本特有の武器でそれぞれこう構えがあったりとか。あと斬新っていうアクションもあって、そういった部分がやっぱ最も特徴的かなと。あとはそのプレイヤーと敵キャラクターの気力の駆け引きみたいなところもシステムとして最もこう特徴があると思ってますね。
Oh, in general, I think it's the close quarter combat system. We have some very Japanese. We have certain elements that are very uniquely Japanese style, such as, say, the key pulse and the sword, the stances.
今回主人公が侍ではあるんですけど、今ちょうどティザー映像流れてますけど、妖怪の力も持っているという設定があって、なので、侍対侍ってこれまで描いてきましたけど、妖怪対妖怪だったり、妖怪対侍っていうシチュエーションも増えるので、そのコンバットの部分でさらに次元が一つ増やせるかなと、トワイライト2ではそこを目指して、ニオ2では今目指してやってます。
And just to supplement, as we're all watching the teaser trailer, players can probably tell that the next protagonist actually possesses the power of yokai. So, as seen in before, samurai versus yokai. Samurai versus samurai. This time around, we're going to have yokai versus samurai and yokai versus yokai as well. So you'll be able to have, feel some of the yokai skills and the yokai moves. This should bring the action system to the next level.
Okay. Last question. What do you think is the most important thing that the team needs to get right with Neo 2?
今回の作品においてチームにとって何を最も正しくやることが大事というふうに考えておられますか？
今回ニオ2ではやっぱりただ簡単にしたりしてもしょうがないので、やっぱちゃんと手応え歯応えがある状態で、ただ気持ちよく死んでもらうっていうのを一番大切にしてます。
First of all, as a massacre game, we'll make it satisfying again, but in that I'd like to make it more, if this sounds weird, if we wanted to have more satisfying deaths for players.
やっぱり私たちだけがそれをやっても難しいので、バランス取っていきたいなと思っていて、当然チーム忍者が思うベストなものは作りつつですけど、また今回も体験版を配信しようと思っているので、それはぜひプレイしていただいて、客観的な意見も取り入れながら、ニオ2をより最高のものにしていきたいなと今考えてます。
Well, Team Ninja will do its best, bringing everybody the best product, but we don't want it to be just our, subjective opinion. So as we did in Neo, we bring everybody the free demo again to get your feedback and make this game right.
Oh, well, there you go.
Tom, we haven't heard from you at all, and I was just wondering if you want to give a message to all the Neo fans the world over before we let you go.
Sure. First of all, thank everybody for making Neo a success. And having said that, I think just to kind of draw a comparison of where we were and where we're at, I think, with Neo, it was our first time, getting into that genre. And to be quite honest, as part of our team, we were a little bit cautious, and it was sort of trepidatious in that sense. And I think this time around, with the experience that we've gained, and obviously all the encouragement and the support we have, we've gained a lot of confidence as well. And thinking back, there were a lot of things that we didn't get to do. But this time around, I guess the simple way for me to put this is, the gloves are off. Like, we're going to go in hard. And so I hope the fans are ready for it, because I think this experience is going to be, close to what we really had in mind. So I can't wait for you guys to play it.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for watching at home. That was a look at Nioh 2 and hearing from the Team Ninja crew, and it's so nice to have them here. And it's also nice that we're about to see more of Anthem from BioWare in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
The raft is secure, but I can't reach them over radio. Their comms must be down. What's your status?
Already here. Yuri? I thought you said it was secure.
It was. Let's go. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
Love the optimism. But in my experience, when it looks bad, it's usually worse. Look out! Yuri!
I'm slipping!
Gotcha. Hold on! You okay?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party! Just in time for the fireworks!
Looks like we made parole, boys!
I'm out! Electro? Why is he letting everyone out?
I'll head for the main control center and see how bad the situation is.
Got it. I'll go join the party. Everyone just quietly go back into your cells and lock the door behind you. Okay? Please?
Spider! Teach you to mess with me! Get him down here!
Incoming! Like fish in a barrel. That doesn't sound good. Oh, hi, Rhino.
Hope you like surprise, Spider!
Surprise? What is he talking about?
Hey, what's your status?
Me? Just trapped in a prison with every criminal I've put away in the last 8 years. No biggie.
Electro must be working for someone.
This is too good to be true. Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call and it was business.
Charge him! Don't let up!
Lost you for a second there. You okay?
Not really. Electro, Rhino, and now Scorpion are all on the loose. What's going on in the rest of the prison?
Camera system's almost done. I'll give you a sit rep soon.
Okay, I'll keep tracking Electro.
come on, Spider-Man. I thought this was a chase.
Gotta stop this guy. If you tell me who you're working for, I'll go easy on you.
Can't stop it. But I'm flattered that you still try.
Nobody ever takes me up on that offer.
Gotcha. Vulture, what?
Long time no see. We're going to have so much fun.
Sorry, no time to talk.
Still with me, huh?
Okay, I got the security cameras back online.
How's it look?
Well, it looks like the entire population of the raft has escaped. That makes 5 of your worst enemies that are now on the loose.
For a second there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. I have to go. Some of them are heading into the city.
This is nuts.
Keep chasing. Party's almost over.
Electro, stop!
Remember, he said not to kill him.
Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to.
You?
Guys, we are back live from E3 here in the PlayStation booth in the Los Angeles Convention Center. Live in sunny LA.
Yeah, they still have like.
And we are here to talk about.
I think this segment
Anthem.
is like 15.
Yes. And that's right. We have the game's director right here. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And we're going to get a little look at some of the gameplay. We have Ramon Russell as well.
What's happening?
So, John, tell me a little bit about where BioWare's head was at when it came to creating Anthem. It's a bit of a departure for the studio.
Absolutely. I think that, honestly, when you look at the history of BioWare games, we've always been evolving the way that we approach storytelling. And if, like, from Baldur's Gate to Jade Empire, Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect and Dragon Age, right? We've always tried to change up and evolve the way we tell stories. And we felt that what we're doing at the Anthem is really the next kind of evolutionary step for BioWare.
Now, BioWare with Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 definitely had a presence in that co-op world.
Absolutely.
That was something you guys had definitely played around with. But Anthem is taking that to a different level. So tell me about, sort of that co-op emphasis and why that was such a critical part of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. We really wanted Anthem to be a very natural cooperative experience and social experience, because it's a great thing to experience with your friends, just to get together and play in this big world that we've created. And we felt like, that's the right thing. Telling stories has always been a very social experience, in our history. And we felt that that was just a supernatural step.
Great, and we have a little bit of Anthem footage. We can start running that now. Great. We'll continue our discussion. We'll point out anything that looks interesting, which I'm sure will be quite a few things.
Yes,
speaking of Mass Effect, that's obviously one of the things BioWare is very, very much known for. What lessons did you take moving from the Mass Effect series going to a massively multiplayer online game?
That is a good question. You know, it's really all about how you think about story and taking it from that kind of plane of, well, you have a great told, crafted story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and kind of bringing it to a more open world perspective. We're still telling that crafted story, but then we're layering on top of that a big world conflict story that we won't really solve because we want you to go out into the world of Anthem and always be a hero. And then there's that cool storytelling that goes on between players where, you know, you're playing together or you've been playing Anthem and you get together the next day at school or at work and you talk about the awesome adventure you just had with your buddies. And that's a really cool experience, and that's a piece of storytelling too. And we wanted to kind of extend our reach into that and let the players start to tell each other awesome stories in this setting that we've created.
That's awesome. So this week was the first time people actually got to see gameplay of Anthem. How has the response been?
The response has been overwhelmingly just positive and wonderful. It's so nice to be able to take something that you've been laboring over for so long and keeping secret and just be able to finally share it with everybody.
Rockets and Robots, who doesn't love that?
It's been great.
So tell me a little bit about this shared world that you're creating with this game.
So every session of Anthem is hosted on dedicated servers. So when we're out playing in the world, whether we're grouped together or not, we're all going to experience the same day and night times, the same weather, the same big world events. So it's an experience that, again, even if we weren't grouped together that night, we can get together at work or school the next day and talk about that experience. But because we want to tell a very crafted and well-told story, you get your story consequences in places like Fort Tarsus, which is your own personal hub, and that's where you'll see the consequences of your actions.
We're seeing these javelin suits, sorry to interrupt, we're seeing these javelin suits here, and these things are certainly formidable looking.
Absolutely. These javelin suits are the things that give you kind of superheroic powers and allow you to go out into this crazy world and survive and thrive and have adventures. Each javelin can be considered as a kind of a class. But the cool thing about it is, instead of having to restart the game if you decide you don't like this class, you play as a pilot, a freelancer pilot. And a freelancer can own many javelins. Nice. So when you go out that night, you just might be feeling like, hey, I want to play my Colossus tonight. Or you may be going on a mission that requires you to play as a Storm or as a Ranger. It's really up to you. There's a lot of freedom in the system, and you get to kind of play with that as you see fit.
Nice. So you have 4 classes, and then you can customize your javelins even deeper inside the classes, correct? Okay.
Yeah, so even if we're both playing Ranger or Colossus, the way we do the loadouts, the type of gear you've gotten, the type of gear I've gotten, it's going to make it feel really different.
That's really nice to hear.
Now, what can you tell us about this world that we're seeing here? I mean, is this an alien planet? Is this Earth in the far future?
Right. This is a planet that's separated from Earth in time and space. It's completely separate. And while there are humans on this world, they're not Earthlings.
Oh, I see.
Right. This is a world that was left unfinished by its gods, the Shapers. And so they were making the world and they just abandoned it for who knows why. And so it's left things like this. You see this gigantic Shaper relic that's up there, looks like a big pulsing light. These are the tools of the gods that were used to create this world. And they turn on and they create havoc, and it's up to the freelancers to go out and silence those relics.
This is super cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
incredible.
This combat looks really exciting here. It looks like a freeze bomb. A lot of interesting kind of dynamic ways to sort of combo these different attacks together.
Absolutely. What we saw there was an epic frost grenade that the Ranger had, and a legendary multi-mortar on the Colossus. So you can chain together combos using different status effects. Again, it's a very wide-ranging and a very playful system that allows you to explore.
I heard you say legendary launcher, so is there going to be different classes?
Absolutely, different rarities of gear and weapons. That one happens to be a legendary multi-mortar.
What the hell is that? Now, I think I've caught a glimpse of maybe some loot dropping. Is that a factor in this game? And tell me how it works.
Absolutely. So as you go through the world fighting and exploring, you will find different loot. The rarities are pretty much right what you expect. Common, uncommon, rare, epic. Masterwork and legendary. So yeah, there's and each piece has different specs, different statistics. So there's always the chance that you could go out and get a better piece of gear. Always fun to chase.
That's great. Now, is there sort of a linear storyline that these 4 players? I know it's also playable with just yourself if you want to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The main storyline pits the freelancers against one of their strongest enemies, the Dominion. And that will be the contents of the critical path. But really, that's just the beginning of the game. It really just teaches you how to play the game and gives you a tour of the world. The real game really opens up after you've completed that great story.
Nice. So I think a lot of people were really asking the question is, this is a multiplayer game, squads of 4. But what if I just want to play by myself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you want a lone wolf, you can play through the story missions by yourself if you want. You can also go out and just explore the world by yourself. There will be other people on your server with you, but you don't have to group with them. You can just go out and do your thing.
Music to a lot of people's ears.
Awesome.
Now, are you looking, because there is such a strong multiplayer component to this, not mandatory, but that's clearly, it's going to be a lot of fun to play in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Are you looking at ways to kind of bring people back and keep them playing over a long period of time?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We always want to give our players reasons to come back and be delighted by this really mysterious world. So we'll be doing events. We'll be doing things that we'll talk more about later in detail, but we're absolutely planning on giving you lots of reasons to come back.
This is a game that's in it for the long haul. We're going to be seeing a lot of Anthem, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Now, from a Mass Effect perspective, obviously one of the bigger successes to come out of BioWare among countless others, but I mean, it's one I think that's so synonymous with the studio. Are there lessons that you have learned from sort of storytelling or other things like that, or the RPG mechanics themselves that have found their way into Anthem?
Oh, absolutely. The Anthem team is comprised of many BioWare veterans, and we've taken all. So as you're exploring the world, you will find amazing things like this Titan. You and your squad can decide to fight them. You can decide to go on about your business like we're going to right here and go into this Stronghold. Now, Stronghold is a purpose-built 4-player adventure. It's one of higher-level challenges in the game, and will require a little more coordination between you and your squad of freelancers.
That's great. And what are some of the ways, we've been talking about these javelin suits. That's the thing that really stands out in this game instantly. Are there ways to sort of customize them or tailor them to your playstyle?
Yeah, absolutely. So personalization, you can make it look just the way you want to make it look. There's a very deep and robust personalization system. That goes out to include different changes to the suits itself. And then customization goes down to gear and loadout. So you see we've got 2 Colossuses that we were seeing on the screen here. One of them has a flamethrower and a flame mortar on it. The other one has a railgun and that legendary multi-mortar. So one's built for close-up fighting, one's built for distance fighting.
Awesome.
So yeah.
You said railgun. I'm pre-ordering as soon as we get off the stage.
So you're trying to give players tons of options to customize the javelin.
Absolutely. I think one of the key things that we really wanted to deliver on was the ability to give the players freedom to approach this game the way they want to approach it. If you want to tackle a challenging piece of content like this with 4 storms, which is our light suit, I mean, that's a crazy challenge, but you could do it. You could take that video, you could upload it, show it to all your friends. That's a good thing.
All right, John, thank you so much for stopping by. Anthem looking fantastic.
Thank you very much.
I always expect big things out of BioWare, but I love to see this. It feels like you're liberated. You're sort of tackling a whole new world that I've never seen you tackle before. And I love this co-op element as well. So looking forward to big things with that one. And it's coming out in February.
Yes, February 22nd on PlayStation 4.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Absolutely.
And we've got more to come. We've got actually quite a bit more to come yet today on PlayStation Live from E3. We're going to be checking out Days Gone coming up right now. So come back for that. See you shortly.
No one gives a damn about you. You're a number. An asset. A pawn in someone else's game. They've been manipulating you. Watching you. Exploiting you. And when they get what they want, they'll leave you for dead. So here's the deal. Alone, you can put up a fight. But together, you can start a war.
PlayStation PlayStation
Welcome back, everybody. We're still here at PlayStation Live from E3 in Los Angeles. We have a huge crowd here, so I really appreciate everyone sticking around. And I appreciate John and Jeff from Ben's Studio to rejoin us on stage. Gentlemen, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, we just couldn't get enough Days Gone. Wanted to see more.
Yeah,
we heard you guys had more. So
More.
Here you are.
So much.
Specifically, I have a laptop on my lap, if you could not tell right here. I want to take a deeper look at the trailer that you guys recently released during the Countdown to E3 program,
Oh, okay,
right?
yeah.
And I thought maybe you could give us a little insight into what it takes to put something like this together and how it informs the larger game. What do you say?
Absolutely.
I'm going to start playing right now, and we are going to do a little bit of a trailer rewind of sorts after the ESRB logo. Oh wait, it just starts right on the date. So let's flip it over to the laptop footage if we can. I'm going to wait for it. There it is. All right, now we're seeing it.
Actually, that's a good place to pause.
This is a good place to pause, everyone. This is your release date.
Yeah, so we created this trailer, and the whole point really is that. So that was our big news coming into E3 this year, is that we have a release date for Days Gone, and it's February 22nd,
Let me circle it with the mouse. It's right there, February 22nd. Look, I'm highlighting it. Let's keep it going. starting with explosions, a lot of things.
Okay, right there.
Wait, hold on. There's a lot just happened in
Yeah,
this
right there. Just a little seconds.
But right there, that tagline, "This world comes for you." That's what this game is all about, and that's what this trailer is here to inform us about.
And then this thing here, this is what I'm
The
talking
mountain lion.
Mountain lion.
Cougar, right?
Mountain
so that's
lion, okay.
another animal type that will chase you down and try to kill you.
Crazy cultists, they'll chase you down, try to kill you as well.
So this is the RIP.
The Rippers,
right?
Yeah. So this is one of the main factions in the game. These are guys that worship freakers, and they think that the pandemic was some sort of a celestial event, and they're trying to kill you like everything else.
This is you guys. Congratulations.
And that's our backyard, that mountain right there.
That is our backyard right there.
Fascinating.
But rewind it a bit, because there's a new character that we just introduced, and this guy's name is Alkai. He's the merchant at the Salaman Hot Springs, and this is one of the human encampments where you go and you earn trust, and if you earn enough trust, then you can buy some of the weapons that he has for sale. So that's kind of one of the larger gameplay loops in the game.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
And he's got a cool hat. I mean, let's just be honest. That's the main reason that we paused it here. Let's continue.
I never took you for a hat guy, Ryan.
I rarely wear hats, but when I do, I wear hats. I wasn't going anywhere with that.
I don't, on principle alone.
Who's this gentleman right here?
So that's Boozer. He's you've seen him in a few of the trailers we've released earlier. He's Deacon's best friend. In fact, he's Deacon's only living friend. Obviously, also a member of the Outlaw MC, the Mongrels. And the two of these guys are more than brothers. They're because they share that brotherhood. So that's one of the reasons we chose the backstory of having them be outlaw bikers, is because it's not about the violence and the crime, although Deacon is really good with a baseball bat. It's about the brotherhood between these two men.
I love the shot. This is just really cool.
So good. I mean, how long does it take? I don't know if you can give us a lot of detail, but how long does it take you guys to put a trailer like this together? Because you're getting these little samples, these vignettes from throughout the game, right? And there's so much going on in a trailer like this.
We have a full-time videographer in the studio, and I don't remember the exact date he started working on this, but it was at least a month ago, a couple of months ago. I mean, it just takes a lot of time because we go through multiple versions, multiple iterations. Shots come and go. We put shots in. We're like, that doesn't really work. And then we have a message we're trying to communicate. In this case, it's the world comes for you. You get shot off your bike.
Okay, yeah. So I want to talk about this. So these kind of experiences, getting shot off of your bike, having one of the freaker dogs pull you off your bike, those are sort of emergent things that can happen at any time, right?
That's correct. And it's what we feel is the tone of Days Gone. In E3, I think last year we showed the clothesline ambush. I mean, this is a world that not only comes for you, it's actively trying to kill you constantly and take all your stuff.
And you don't know which combination of threats you're going to face at any given
it's
time.
Gonna, where they occur and when depends on where you are and how you've been playing so far, but it'll be different for everybody.
And it was super important that we come up with, and we spent a lot of time coming up with these ideas for how to get the player off his bike, because it's an open world game. The bike is your main form of transportation. You're riding the broken road. We wanted to make it dangerous, right? So you have creatures that can run as fast as you and knock you off your bike. You got the clotheslining, you got the sniper ambush events, and there's more.
Let's continue on. I went
There's
back.
still a lot more to get to.
Got to move that mouse.
This is one of the encampments I mentioned earlier. So this is Copeland's camp. This is the camp where you can go to upgrade your bike. And this is something I thought, and this is a shot that I thought was super important for this trailer. If you back it up,
back it up.
You can see Deacon freeing a hostage, right? So it's so there's a lot of talk about Deacon St. John is kind of an anti-hero, and I just want to make it really clear. No, he's a hero. He's got this background that makes him able to survive and that makes him thrive in an environment where there is no law. But on the other hand, he's not a monster. He cares about people.
He's a tough guy, but he's not a bad guy.
And he will help people.
Sid, hold on. This is kind of what I look like in the morning. Just a rough approximation here.
This is one of our unit types, the Screamer. What's really cool about her is she brings in a horde. Whatever pitch, whatever frequency she's working on. When she does that, you know that there's going to be a small horde coming by really soon. So it's really terrifying.
Check out, by the way, you're going toe-to-toe with this bear right here in a race. This is amazing. I love how dynamic this is and how much is going on in the visuals at one time.
and you can actually see this happen in the world. So again, it's a system where all these enemy types live in the world together. You've got bears that are out there, you've got freakers that are out there. The bears will run just the same as you if they take enough damage.
What's that old saying? You don't have to be faster than the horde, you have to be faster than the bear?
Or you have to be faster than the guy behind you running from the bear.
So were they chasing the bear?
They were chasing
yes,
the bear.
they in this world, everything eats everything.
Okay, got it.
Look at this. This game looks like a nightmare for me. There's so much going on, so much constant danger for Deacon.
Yeah, so Ravens.
This is a great shot, by the way. I love them hitting the windowsill like this, or the window
So
shield.
these are freaker ravens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hear that motor.
This is my favorite part of the entire trailer because this is the end. And you know, last year at E3 it was all about the Rager Bear going rah, and then boom, Days Gone. This is about going in the complete opposite direction, which is really the tone of this game. You're out of gas, dude. You know, it's the most counterintuitive
It's
thing
a
you
very
could do.
quiet moment.
It's a very quiet moment. It's very small, but what it means and what it foretells is, dude, you got to go somewhere and you got to find gas, and it's going to get deadly fast. It's just my favorite moment of this entire
And it
trailer.
really is, and I think it's kind of one of the things that's unique to us. It's like you do have to take care of your bike. It can break down. You have to refuel it. And if you don't, and this happens, it's a quiet moment, but trust me, when it happens in game, it's
scary. Yeah.
Because you're going to go out on foot now, and you're going to find gas. You're going to have to bring it back, and who knows what's going to happen in the meantime.
Now, on the bright side, in town, I had a chance to play this game a few weeks ago. Loved what I played. I only got to play a little bit of it, but I noticed that there were a ton of ways to upgrade your bike.
Absolutely.
And one of those was a much larger fuel tank. As a matter of fact, multiple sizes of fuel tanks going up to quite capacious.
Quite capacious, yes. And fuel efficiency is another one, too. So the parts you buy, a better engine might take more gas, but there's ways where it's going to be more durable. But other parts are going to improve the fuel efficiency.
I
So,
see.
you know, it's not just the size of the gas tank, but it's how
I see.
there's the parts in it that can lead to a bike of a build where you're not worrying about gas as frequently, but you got to work a lot to get there.
Yep, indeed.
Gentlemen, before I let you go, maybe final message or the thing that is most important for you guys to communicate about the hard work that you're doing in Ben's studio.
I think it's the tagline that's in this trailer. It's the world comes for you, because we're trying to build a world that is dynamic, dangerous, brutal, and literally as soon as you step outside of one of the human encampments, anything can hit you. And so it's constantly just dealing with this frightening sense of, oh man, what's going to happen next, and being surprised by that.
Yeah. For me, I would say if you scrub to the end when the camera's coming up and showing the world, I would say that I want everybody to realize that that is all real at the end. The end here. And it's a fully explorable open world with all kinds of dangers lurking for you. And it's not just a game about freakers. I mean, this is in this trailer alone, we've shown you all the wildlife. We've shown you the infected wildlife. We've shown you the crazy humans, the cultists and the marauders. All these people are trying to knock you off your bike, kill you, take your stuff, and store the animal. So it's much more than just freakers, and it's a big open world that constantly comes for you. And I think that's what this trailer does, and this final shot really kind of echoes.
And you can see the ravens, if you squint, circling ominously in the background there.
Right here.
Outstanding, guys. Thank you for providing so much context and detail around the new look at Days Gone.
All right, thank you.
John and Jeff from Ben's studio. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. We're going to have you come back maybe 12 more times during the course of this program. I hope that's okay.
We're here.
Fine by me.
And everyone out here on stage and at home, thank you so much for watching. That was another look at Days Gone. You hit me with that release date again.
February 22nd, 2019.
This game comes for you.
But you just made up your own tagline.
I made
Bravo.
it last week.
Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're actually going to have a look at the new SCUF DualShock 4 controller. And then a little later on after that, we have more looks at games including Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. Please do not go anywhere. Stay with us.
do not fight because the world makes us fight. We fight for a greater purpose. We forge into the unknown. To the promise we made. No matter the darkness, nothing will stand in our way. Again.
PlayStation.
Welcome back, everybody. Justin and Ramon here taking a look at the new SCUF Vantage controller. This is a new officially licensed controller made by our pals at SCUF. This thing looks really awesome. I've been looking forward to this. So we're just gonna open it up. Let's take a look. So while Ramon is opening this up, here we go. Look at that. Look at that bad boy. So this is, as I mentioned, it's an officially licensed controller. It's shipping in August 2018. You can get one of these for $169.95 for the wired model, $199.95 for the wired and wireless model. You can go to scuffgaming.com for full customization options. Let's check out some of the features on this thing. Now, you could buy it and play it just like a normal controller, but you know, if you're going to buy a really cool controller like this, you're probably not going to play stock. So you can see that Ramon just took that faceplate off. He took the D-pad off. You can put a control disc on there. You can take the
analog sticks off and replace those.
It ships with a bunch of different lengths of sticks, so that if you play like first-person shooters and stuff, you can get better aim, more precise aim.
Yeah, there's tons of things you can do with control. You can also remove.
Yeah, the rumble motors.
Packs.
You can take those out.
Rumble packs.
So these are features that friends who have bought SCUF controllers in the past, and these are things that are really popular in like the pro gaming community, having all of these options, being able to take the rumbles out so they don't distract you if you're playing at a competitive level, being able to put longer thumbsticks on there, even having extended R2 and L2 buttons, things like that.
We'll open the accessories.
Let's open this thing up and see what's inside. We got a lot of the adjustable goodies in here.
All right, so here are some of the more analog sticks.
There we go. So yeah, take a look at all that. Let's see if you want to take a look at some of the goodies that come. There we go. So you got some of the extendable
right there, and we can also
and whatnot there.
The R2 triggers also pop off as well, and they have quick stops, which is really, really awesome. And
you can adjust the throw on the R2 and the L2 buttons right there. And Ramon's going to pop one of the extended triggers on here now.
And I'm breaking the controller.
He's going to try. It's kind of tough to do this when you're sitting on a big couch.
Yeah.
There you go. So you got those cool extended triggers. So this thing is super crazy, super customizable. As I mentioned, it comes in wired and wired only plus wired and wireless models. It's got the paddles on the back. A couple of them popped out there, but. Yeah, you have 4 paddles on the back of the controller that you can map really easily, actually, to the different face buttons and D-pad buttons and whatnot on the controller. It's actually really easy. There's just a button on the bottom that you hold down while you are, or you switch it into program mode. You hold down the paddle that you want to program, you press the button you want to map it to, and that's it.
Yeah, this thing feels, I mean, it feels like a sports car. It is really, really nice.
Yeah, I kind of want to just play it without the faceplate on. That looks pretty rad.
Yeah, it feels really, really good. And that's what we tell about the two models, the wired and the wireless.
Yep, looks pretty rad. We got a bullet list of features here. Let me run down this just in case we missed anything. So we got, paddle control system and sax buttons. Let's talk about those sax buttons, by the way, on the sides of the controller. This is new. So not only do you have the paddles on the back of the controller, you have these new sax buttons that kind of fall, if I can see the controller, it's just kind of like as you're playing, like, I don't know if you get a good shot of that. As you're playing, you know, your fingers kind of rest right here. You can just quickly kind of go like that. Get a quick hit on your sax button there. So, yeah, just a cool new innovation. I'm thinking about picking one of these up and putting it through the paces myself. We've also got the audio touch bar at the bottom.
Yeah, you got the audio touch bar, which you change your mic and volume.
Yeah, that audio bar is really interesting. So what that does is it lets you, if you can hold it up for the camera here or over here, let's get a shot of that touch bar there. That audio bar, just slide your finger on it to adjust the volume being output by your headphones. So that should make it easier instead of having to go into menus, change your
Yeah, pretty much everything on this controller is customizable.
We went over the hair triggers. We went over the trigger stops, trigger covers, interchangeable magnetic faceplate. Yeah, we went over that. Let's see. Removable vibration modules. High performance grip. If you look at the back of the controller, you see it's got that nice rubber finish. Very nice. I think that covers most of the options here. As we mentioned before, this is shipping beginning in August. You can get it at scuffgaming.com. It'll also be in stores for $169.95 for the wired model, $199.95 for the wired and wireless model. You can go to scuffgaming.com and get full customization on this bad boy for an extra $30. There
you go. And that's
gonna pick one up, Ramon?
Oh, absolutely. This thing is like having a Ferrari.
I play a lot of Destiny, and I play with friends who have Scuf controllers, and I'm constantly like, man, I think I should probably get one of those Scuf controllers because they're able to do all kinds of stuff without taking their right thumb off of the other stick, so they can like jump and slide while still aiming and shooting and all that without ever having to move your hands.
That's nice. No more excuses for your skills in Destiny once you get this.
I mean, I don't think it'll turn me into a really good Destiny 2 player, but so that is the Scuf Gaming, the Scuf Vantage. You can check scuffgaming.com for more details. Stay tuned for more. We'll be here for a little while longer. We got a few segments.
Got a few more segments left.
Yeah, so stay tuned to PlayStation Live from E3 2018.
Hello? Anybody there? Something's not right. Hey, relax. Everything okay? You can't be here. I'm putting you under arrest. Officer, you need help? What are you doing? Get off! No! Get off of me! Jesus Christ.
In my account, always a pleasure.
Attention, all citizens. Due to the citywide outrage.
And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate.
Whatever it takes to save this city.
Surprised you made it this far.
Need info on my extraction. Survival's your responsibility.
God damn it.
Will you help me?
Of course. It's an impressive display of strength. But we never meant for this to happen.
It's coming. It's coming back!
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Bathtub Guy, and we're here at E3. 3 to take some looks at this new game I'm going to show you right now.
you.